You should know by now the mercy's off the table. Think that you can try to spare me like I'm someone when you didn't spare my brother, so get dunked on.
What's up, guys? This is DeviantArt, and since I think I'm going to be uploading this video around the same time, if not at the same time, that I'm going to be uploading my reaction to S Collide, new Homestuck update, I thought this would be a good opportunity to bring this out. Alright, if you know my old channel before it was taken down, I told everyone about a comic that I did about me and my friends along with Homestuck related things. Now, this comic that I did is right here, and I think, if my math was correct from last time, is 50, 50, 50, 50, so 100, 200, 250, and since it's all front and back, yeah, that's a lot of pages. It's a very long comic of me, my friends with Homestuck. I started this comic because Mino, aka Emmanuel, one of my friends in high school, he asked me, can I do a comic about Homestuck? I immediately shot down this by saying no, because Homestuck is a very long and arduous thing to try to write a comic about. And since I'm a guy who never finishes anything, because the only thing I've ever had to drive to finish in my entire career of drawing was the original story that I'm now posting out on my DeviantArt account. And even then, I haven't really actually completed it all the way up to the end, besides when I was 6 years old, because that's when it was kind of simplistic in a way. But right now, I have never finished a single story, ever. Like, I did a whole bunch of side stories involving Pokemon, involving Persona, involving something else. All these other, like, things, but I never finished them because I made them too long to try to finish, and I just wanted to continue on with my original story. But the Homestuck one, I had more of a drive to do it. I started making this comic 2 days after the 5-day reading period that I mentioned that I did about reading Homestuck afterwards. And this also was around the time I got done with the second sketchbook of the prologue of my original story. So for that person, I don't really remember who asked this, but in one of the comment sections of one of the pages in the chat in the sketchbook 3 of the original story, it said, is it just me, or has your drawing gotten better? That is because I did this entire thing before I actually got started on the third sketchbook of my original story. So you could say my drawing level has increased because I did over almost 1,000 pages on a Homestuck comic to continue on with that. So I kind of had like an extra skill set once I got done with this. I was wondering, do you want me to start uploading pages from the Homestuck comic onto my DeviantArt so you can have two things to look forward to on a thing? Because here's the thing, if you think dialogue is one of the biggest things in my original story right now, you have clearly not read my Homestuck comic. There are pages upon pages of dialogue. Think of like some of the dialogue boxes that go on for like all this time to the point where you're like, but for me, I love the dialogue between the characters. But you have to admit, some dialogue boxes get pretty dialogue heavy, and that's exactly how the comic goes. It has more consistency of dialogue instead of action scenes, while my original story has more consistency of action scenes along with dialogue. But you can barely find like 3 pages in a row that highly consists of like a wall of text. There is a moment where Kankry is in the story, and my god, I wanted to choke myself once I got to him. My god, and it's because during the whole entire process of making a story, there are many things that go on. One, I take a lot of liberties, and I pull a lot of strings, and I mean a lot of strings. Too many strings, if you want to say that, because I was on a time limit and a deadline. Once I got started with this comic, it was senior year in high school, and we only had a couple of months left of school. And my friends really wanted me to make a comic involving their characters with other characters from the Homestuck universe, in with their own centric parts in the story. And I was like, okay, I can do that. This could be like a sending off away gift for all my friends. Also, it's very important to me to mention that when I also imply the fact that that my friends want to incorporate many things. Prime example, you know the denizens. The denizens are supposed to be particular type of things, right? But Leo, if you read the story, you know how Leo is and with Leo's personality. She told me I need to make a denizen that is a gigantic Abraham Lincoln centaur with huge, with a huge hat, and that can cause cataclysmic destructural explosions just by stomping its hoof. With that being said, yes, a lot of things have been changed up every now and then in the story. And also, the entire story can possibly also be declared as a huge shipping thing. See, certain, my friends loves particular types of the trolls of the story. They wanted me to write in them liking their characters. Like that. It's basically like that. I also do the same thing because I'm like, how can they have all the fun, so I might as well do one with my favorite troll character. So, I'm only telling you this because if you see moments that may be out of character in a particular light, that is because of that. But, throughout the entire story, I do my damnedest. I'm literally gonna say it like that, I do my damnedest to make sure that these characters are exactly the characters that you would see in the actual Homestuck webcomic series. Picture me in a Starbucks, sitting down with my laptop, just scanning the entirety of each and every one of the trolls slash kids Wikipedia articles with their typing quirks, with their personalities, and everything else in between. Every single thing I'm trying to get down to the letter. And that's just how that worked. I do my very best, like no one ever would, to try to make sure these characters are exactly like that. It's not like you're gonna see a particular character do this sort of thing, and if it's not in their character, to try to do that sort of thing. That's just me doing my best. So again, a lot of liberties being taken, a lot of things being it was switched around, and I kind of hated the fact that I kind of had to write particular scenes for particular moments and particular times because I am weird, and this just proves it. So yeah, just wanted to also throw that in there. That I made throughout high school. So as I'm making this, I am cutting a few corners, rushing a few things, doing all this because I'm running low on time with the drawing and blah 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 blah. But I do my best, and I made a coherent story. I haven't really delved deep into it to actually discover plot holes. Well, I'm pretty sure there are plenty of plot holes, but the whole point was I needed to make those plot holes to make this shorter. AKA, one of the major things that I changed is the god tiers. This is one thing you gotta look forward to. The god tier, how god tier works in my story is that, I think I got this right. When you become a god tier, your body that's on the quest bed on, the first side, and then you become a god tier on the other side in the dream-like reality thing, and then that's how you become god tier, but your body is still on the quest bed and it's still dead. As for me, I make it so that part that's in the dream world goes straight to the body that's dead on a quest bed on that side, and that becomes god tier. I did that on a liberty to make things go by faster, and so I don't have to continuously try to think of a way that this person can go to this place and this place and this place. This is just something to look at, and surprisingly, none of my friends actually complained about it because they saw how it could save time and actually make things more convenient for the story. So there are many things in here that I have to explain are really out there. Because again, this is after my 5-day reading thing. So I got through with the story, well, up until the latest update that I was at, which was the game over update. And I understood a lot of things. However, there were certain things I was still getting used to trying to understand, aka the quadrants. My god. My friends have been trying to literally bombard me with the information of how the quadrants work. For a long time, I thought Morwells were like friends, but no, you can be friends with your Morwell, but your Morwell is actually supposed to be a person to keep you in check, which is kind of like Teeny and Gabbert. It was his name Gabbert in the beginning of the third one, which I didn't even intend to actually be a thing. I just wanted to have he's from the circle of anger, she's from the circle of fraud. Frauds are more powerful than anger types. Anger types need someone to keep them in check. I did not even have Homestuck in mind when making those two characters, but hey, maybe it was a subconscious thing. Who knows? As for the deal about all the other quadrants, I now understand them. The only one I still don't really understand is the Spades one. I think it's unless that is Kismasis. I know about Kismasis, and I don't know what the other. I know it's Mace Fritz. Is it Osmosis? I don't know how to pronounce many things. So that's just me trying to let you guys know, when I made this comic, I wasn't fully in depth with the entire story, and there are certain things that I take liberties on, and a lot of things that I may have changed up, and so on and so forth. This is just me wanting to let you guys know, if you would like me to start uploading some of the pages from this, they're like 20 pages every now and then, because typing down this dialogue and having to fix all of the, oh my god, the time it'll take, and it might cut into the time of the actual original story on DeviantArt. So it's up to you if you feel like reading it, because trust me, another thing I need to bring up was, when I'm making this comic, a lot of my friends wanted to put in a lot of their own things into their own character arcs and what they wanted to do with their character arcs. How the story is structured, here's the basic synopsis. In this particular universe, the kids of Homestuck, along with the trolls of Homestuck, managed to seal Caliborn into a particular realm to have him walk in an eternal abyss with Lord English himself. It's like a separate time-dimensional thing that went on. How they did this was just to delay him for they can be truly ready to truly fight him with everything that they got so far. Aridin is nowhere in the story. Need to also say that Aridin is nowhere in the story. Why? Because when I got done with the story, I hated Aridin to the point where when I was going to make this comic, I was like, no. But right now, me and Aridin are kind of alright in a sense, but him doing all that stuff that he did in the story, I'm not going to say what, since, you know, spoilers and whatnot. Again, that's just me with the hate of Aridin in my brain. So Aridin is nowhere near in the story, and my friends agree. They kind of didn't like Aridin either. So, for everything else, though, the story takes place on the fact that the kids sealed Caliborn. Caliborn is walking into this eternal abyss, and he stumbles across an area where he apparently finds the monitors that you see in the original Homestuck. You know, the monitors, and I can see John and all the others. He found monitors that also could see other kids, and apparently he can give the command stuff to those kids to help them out in their particular timeline, because every other kid that's tried to get into Spurb died. So he saves these kids so he can use these kids to get to the alpha and beta kids of Homestuck. And then there's another side thing going on with Calliope, where she does kind of the same thing with another set of kids, and those set of kids are the parents to the set of kids that Caliborn saved. So this sort of thing goes on like that. It's a concept that I came up with only because I didn't fully grasp if it was possible for other kids to try to get into Spurb, but since they're not the kids that we know, they're forever doomed to die over and over and over again in an endless time loop of every single timeline, because it's impossible for them to actually get into the game. So that's just my logic. I'm pretty sure it's wrong, but it's my logic. It's something that I came up with. I was like 2 years younger then, so my brain wasn't fully developed into what Homestuck was until then. So with all that being said, I need to get that out. And if you're interested in it, I will be glad to start uploading a few, the entire story if you feel like it, and not upload the epilogue, because my friends hated the ending so much I actually had to make an epilogue. And I didn't say hate the ending as in they hate it so much that my writing talent is horrible. No, they hated the ending so much because how good it was. In the sense that how I work as a comic writer. I have a trope of killing off characters. A big trope of killing off characters. Like, if you love a character, I will take them away from you. Not to spite you, but because the story demanded me to. And with that being said, how the ending worked, my friends hated how it fit so well to the overall narrative of the story, and they wanted me to cop it out with an epilogue that made everything sane. But I'm not going to show it to you guys if you actually are interested in the story, because I think it flows better, and I hated the reason I had to come up with to make it a happy ending for them. It really, they didn't want me to leave off high school and go to college and never probably see them again, only talk to them on the phone, with this ending that I gave them. So that's just how that is. So if you're interested, I will gladly post up the pages, and if you're not, hey, less work for me. And just know there are a lot of things going on, and since I'm going to be doing this like my regular story, I'm going to do my best to try to take out all the spelling errors, because there are a lot more spelling errors in this comic right here than you ever have seen in the original story if you're reading that. So with that all being said, I just want to get that out because it has been a while since I've actually, you know, went back on this. So since this was after I got done with the 2 chapters of the 2 sketchbooks of the prologue, you can see that the drawing style is still sort of in the same presence of the prologue. But once you start getting into the, like, I think it's the 5th sketchbook, you'll start to see the sketchbook 3 type drawing talent that I inherited after drawing all that stuff. So yeah, it's just me get out. Plus, hey, you know how my friends are in my original story, and I had to put my friends in this story. If you want to see alternate reality versions of particular characters from the original story be seen in this story, man, you would actually get like a real good kick out of it. It'll be like the younger versions of the parts that you see right now. It's actually pretty funny. After reading it like that, it's actually pretty funny. So that's just me wanting to get this out. If you're interested, please tell me. If you're not, hey, again, go on me. Yeah, because I've been having fun. Since now I only have 2 days of college with 2 classes, and the homework doesn't seem too bad. I have a whole 5 days out of the 7 days of a week just to do absolutely nothing. So I might as well be productive and type down and get all the spelling errors out of these things if I ever want to show them to people without any shame. So hey, this is Do You Want to Be the Universe, and see you guys next time, and yeah, bye.